So hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel Java Guru Ravi, and I Ravi Khan Sahu welcome you in this new video. So let's get started.
Hello everybody, in this video we are going to discuss the very important concept of strings. So in case of Java, we have been provided with the strings. Concept of string is different from the other technologies where the string can be used as a primitive type. Here in case of Java, every string that you create is an object. Every string in Java is an object. And what is any string? Any string is anything written inside the double quotes. Anything that you write inside the double quotes is a string literal, right? So in case of Java, string is very important because of certain reasons. So we'll be talking about this in detail in this particular video. So first of all, in case of Java, strings are represented using three different classes. And because it is important, that's why three different classes are provided. So first class is string class, second one is string buffer class, and third one is called a string builder class. So three separate classes are provided, and all these classes are having some common features and something in different. So let us understand about the common features. The first common feature is all these three classes are defined in the java.lang package. It means if you are using these classes, so you need not to import any package, because you know that the java.lang package is by default imported in your programs. So all these three classes are defined in the java.lang package. Second important point here is that all these three classes are declared final. And you know that final class means it cannot be inherited. So these classes are already declared final. It means you cannot create a subclass of string buffer or string builder. Third important point here is that these classes are inheriting some interfaces, and out of them there is one interface called as char sequence. So all these classes are inheriting the char sequence interface, right? So these are the common features of all these three classes. Is it clear? So now the question should come to your mind that why three classes are provided? Why the string class is not sufficient? Why string builder, string buffer, two classes are provided? So because of certain reasons. So let us understand what are the reasons. So first of all, we'll have to understand what is the importance of a particular class. Then only you can use it in the proper manner. So first one is string class. So in case of Java, string class is provided a special feature. The string class is provided with some special features, and one of the most common feature is that anything can be converted into string in Java. Anything, whether you have integer value, whether you have float value, whether you have double value, anything can be converted into string, and for that purpose a method is provided, that is toString method. Anything can be converted into string using the toString method, right? So this is something which is provided by default because it is very important. Second thing is, from string you can convert into the primitive types also. Let's say you have converted some int value to string. So now from string again you can convert into the int type using the parser methods in the wrapper class. Like integer class is providing parse int, float class is providing parse float, double class is providing parse double. So from a string you can convert it back into the original type. That is the feature available with the string class only. Anything else cannot be converted back and from to other types, but string class has been provided this feature. And why it has been provided? Because you want to use some of the features of Java. So let us talk about some other and most important features of string class. So what is the most important feature of string class is that in case of Java, string objects are immutable. String objects are immutable. What it means? It simply means that once the object of string class is created, it cannot be modified. No further changes are allowed inside the object. Any class which is immutable, it cannot be allowing the modification inside the object. Many classes are created as immutable, like in java.time API that you have got in JDK. The classes like local date, local time, local date time, all these classes are also immutable, because you feel that once the timestamp you have created, it should not be modified. So in Java, string has been made immutable because you are communicating with the entire world in the form of a string. You are sending your user ID and password to the server using the string. You are connecting with some database using some connection string URL. So this string has been made immutable. Once I have created a string, nobody, no intruder, no third party should be allowed to modify the content I am sending or transmitting. So that's why string has been given a feature of being immutable, because it is very secure data you may be transmitting over the network. So that's why string objects are immutable. I am again repeating, immutable means within the current object modifications are not allowed. It doesn't mean there are no such method to modify it. The methods are also available which will allow you to modify, but it will not be allowed within the same object. If you will try to modify, a new object will be created. This is very important concept. Like in the string class, we have a method to uppercase and to lowercase. So let's say you have created a string object, something like this, string s is equal to new string. You have created string s is equal to new string, and let's say you have written here Ravi. Now you are writing s dot to uppercase. To uppercase is a predefined method in the string class. Now I print the s. What is going to be the output? So here I am creating, let us understand this, I am creating a string object s which is having the content Ravi. So what is going to happen with this statement? You are going to get a reference variable s, and it is pointing to an object which is holding the content Ravi, right? And as I told you, string objects is immutable. So if you will try to modify this object, it will not be modified within the current object, rather a new object will be created, right? So what I am doing here is s dot to uppercase. As soon as you are calling s dot to uppercase, what is going to happen? You are calling the to uppercase method here. So as soon as you will call this to uppercase method, you are trying to change this string to uppercase, but definitely it is not allowed here. So what will happen? A new object will be created, and here you will get a new object which is having the content Ravi, right? So as soon as you try to modify, there are many methods available in the string class which will allow you to modify, but the method will not change the current object, rather a new object will be created. So a new object got created here in the memory. Now you are printing s. So what is the output here? You check here, s is still pointing to this. S is still pointing to this. S is not pointing to the new object. So here the output will be Ravi, the original one only. But the same thing if I write like this, if I write like this here, that S is equal to S dot 2 uppercase. I am writing now S is equal to S dot 2 uppercase. So S dot 2 uppercase will create this object. Now I am writing whatever object is created here, S should point to this. S has been assigned the address of the new object, means now this S is going to point this object, means this reference has been lost. So now what will be the output? Now S is pointing to what? The new object. So it will print Ravi. And if you will print here, if you will execute this statement, you will get a feel that object has been modified. The object has not been modified, the reference has been updated. The reference is updated, object is not modified. Still the object is available here, but now it will become a garbage. It will become a garbage because nobody is referencing to this memory. It will become a garbage. If you want to see the result here, so what you can do here is, rather than writing like this, you should write the string s2, means you create a new reference variable s2 and then you will write s dot to uppercase. It means now what you are doing is S is pointing to this and now you have written S dot to uppercase, so this object is created, but this object is now pointed by a new reference variable s2. So now this s2 is pointing to this new object. It means now both the objects are referred by two different reference variables. Now you can see that original Ravi is also existing and a new Ravi is also existing. It will prove that a new object has been created, right? So this is the feature of string class, means string class objects are immutable. Immutable means, again repeating, the objects cannot be modified. If you will try to call some methods to modify this, a new object will be created. So this is your string class. So when you will be using a string class, when you feel that the data is very sensitive, it should not be modified by anybody. If you want to create something of string type which is supposed to be modified every day, maybe every second, like you are changing different things, like your password you are changing. The password you are changing, it means it is supposed to be modified. So whenever modification is expected to be very frequent, you should avoid using a string, because as soon as you will modify it, a new object will be created. So many objects will be created unnecessarily. So if you feel that my string content is going to be modified frequently and it is not having any security concern, you can go for the other two classes. Because why these two classes? Because their objects are mutable, but the string objects are immutable. It means the string buffer and string builder objects are mutable. It means you created a string buffer or string builder object and it can be modified. Within the same object, modifications are done. No new objects will be created, right? So the use of string buffer and string builder is when you want to create some mutable strings, right? So now the question will come to your mind, why two classes? For mutable you could have created only one, na? Why two mutable objects with two different classes, string buffer and string builder? So the answer is very easy. Definitely there is something different here between string buffer and string builder. So what is the difference here is, string buffer objects are synchronized. So string buffer objects are synchronized, but string builder objects are non-synchronized. now the question is, what is the meaning of synchronized? Synchronized means very easy. Synchronized means if you have some synchronized object, so only one thread can access it at a time. If you feel that this particular object should not be accessed simultaneously by multiple threads, then you will have to make it synchronized. Synchronized means no parallel operation is allowed. It means no multiple threads will not be allowed to access it simultaneously. Right? Like the live example of synchronization is your trial room in the mall. You want to try something, you go to the trial room, so there is some synchronization. You should not allow two people to get the access to the trial room simultaneously. So in that cases you can use this synchronize. So if you feel that you are going to create a string which is mutable, you want to modify it, but you feel that only one thread should be allowed to access, you will go for a string buffer. Because string buffer provides you the feature of synchronization, and at the back end synchronization is implemented using the concept of locking. You might have studied in the operating system different locking mechanisms, semaphore, right? So string buffer is using at the back end some semaphore for locking. It means it is having some overhead at the back end. If it is implementing some other feature over there, so definitely there is overhead. So you should go for a string buffer only when you need synchronization. If you don't want synchronization, you will go for the string builder. Right? The string builder must be used when you want to create a general purpose mutable string. General purpose mutable string buffer, you want mutable but you need synchronization also. String buffer, if you want immutable, you will go for the string class. So this is the importance of these three different classes. So most of the times you will be using a string builder when you are having some modifications expected over there, but if you feel no modification should be done, you can go with the string class. But if your requirement is synchronization, you will go for the string buffer. So this is the differentiation between the string buffer and string builder, right? So that's all about this video. Thank you so much.
So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you find this video useful, so please like, subscribe and share with all of your friends so that they can also get benefited. Ravikant Sahu signing off. Thank you.